Cool beans. It's another Sir Isaac. Today I'll be talking about the inspiration for Black Shonen. What novels, forces of media, what makes Black Shonen Black Shonen? What made me want to write Black Shonen? And the first thing I'm gonna add is my boy Conan the Barbarian. Conan the Barbarian, along with the One Piece, is one of the biggest inspirations for Black Shonen. I love Conan the Barbarian. I have read a number of his stories. I've read the original Robert E. Howard stories. I've read stories made by other authors. I'm a big fan of Conan, and Conan was one of the biggest things one of the biggest inspirations for Black Shonen. I love that there's hundreds of Conan novels. I love you can pick up any book and just get into the adventure. Conan's hella cool. He just whoops people's ass, and I love Conan. And today I just want to talk about my inspiration for a novel. I just want to read a quote from Conan and a quote from my novel to see, the similarities and stuff and like my inspirations. I mean, there's countless. When I think of my writing style, I definitely took some from the Conan writers. I definitely got that with the Conan writers. Let me find a fight scene right quick. Um, we might not even need a fight scene. Hold on, I should have done this before I started the video. But let me see. Let me see. This is not a fight scene, but this is kind of my writing style. This is from Conan. This time the rug merchant's jaw dropped, for Conan immediately thrust a gold piece into the man's hand. It left him it left him with little in his purse, but he had no time for bargaining, however odd that might strike the merchant. You see that? It's pretty old school. I feel like with modern stuff, it goes by quick. But I like how with Conan, you just from the words, you feel like you're in some old different time and you're in some like medieval time or just old school time and stuff. And I don't know, man, it just pumps me up when I read stuff like this. Let me see another one. Muttering to himself, Gurren stumbled his way down the dark deck and thrust a bowered pewter cup into Conan's hand. Just that description, like you hearing it, don't know what's really happening, but I feel like just from those few words, you can get a world painted. I try to pick up some and put this in my own novel, Black Shonen. Let me find a piece. Here. The reptilian creature began to pick up its pace, and when the girls saw his features, they noticed his eyes were an angry red. I don't know if you got what I was trying to explain, but just the descriptions, the flow, the things are pictured, I feel like Conan is really, really, really into that description, painting that world for you. Let me see another one. Let me try another one from my book. Lily's face was stern. Cookie noticed the girl's hand was slowly moving to the bow and arrow on her back. Yeah, there's a bow and arrow on her back. So Cookie produced her needles. Oh, let me read that over. I was editing, my bad. I'm reading it over actually. Lily's face was stern. Cookie noticed the girl's hand was slowly moving to the bow and arrow on her back. So Cookie produced her needles. I don't know if you got it, but it's like Conan's everything direct. Everything is direct with Conan. You know what's happening. You know, Cookie knows the girl's hand was slowly moving to the bow and arrow on her back. You can, in my novel Black Shonen, you can picture the character noticing the girl's hand going to the arrow and bow on her back, just quickly moving it, kind of like with Conan. I don't know if I'm explaining this quite right how I'm trying to see it, but it's just the words, the text, the movements. Let me see. Conan stood on the rickety dock with a dark cloak he had from Gurren pulled out about him so that he blended with the night. You get that old school feeling. He was the only one there besides Hordo who knew that the one eyed man probably called that boat Karela. After a woman had not been seen in 2 years but looked for still, Conan had known her too. and understood the smuggler's obsession. Just from that, like talking about a woman and they in love with her and they understanding, just from those little words. It's like that old school writing. I try to mimic. Let me see if I can get another one from my book. Oh, I think this is a good one. Juliet Valentine walked the prehistoric lands of ape forests. The bamboo trees reached into the sky around her. The light of the sun cast a path before her, and all around she could hear the cries and screams of animals howling in the distance. The swordswoman didn't let anything distract her. She was going to find Sam and get her strength back. The adversary wasn't going to haunt her forever. Even with Juliet, I try to pick the old school writing. She's in a forest. She's thinking. She's got stuff on her mind. Yeah, man, that old school writing. You could picture her. She's a swordswoman. She's trying to get her strength back. She's, um, it's just a certain tone I try to mock. And I think with the Conan novels, I am like somewhat mocking that style, mimicking it. Mimicking it is probably a better word than mocking. Mocking is probably not the best word. Mimicking the style of the Conan writers. It seems to be very simple and very direct. That's what these old school writers seem to do. Their words, their novels are very simple. It's very easy to imagine. They're very direct, and that's what I'm trying to do with my novels, simple and direct. And I just love it, man. Conan's a fast inspiration for me, man. He's got countless books. He always on an adventure. He does age as he goes through some novels, and I just respect Conan. He knows one of my biggest inspiration next to the Piece. One Piece is also one of my biggest inspirations. One Piece. I love stories with hella characters. One Piece got hella characters. I love going through my novel and using different characters for different situations and different plot devices. I got over 15 characters. One Piece. The Straw Hats alone is 10 motherfuckers. So I like stuff with hella characters. I like switching between them, getting to know them, becoming a character. When I get bored with one group of characters, I can go to another group and progress the story with them. It's just something I don't know. It's called character ADD. I don't know, but it's just something I got. My Hero got hella characters. I'm not the biggest fan of My Hero Academia, but I do like that I got hella characters. I am a fan of that. What else got? Black Clover got hella characters. I respect Black Clover. I like Black Clover more than My Hero. Black Clover is cool. They got hella characters. Assassination Classroom got hella characters. I'm just naming off animes. How to Pick Up Girl in a Dungeon is starting to get hella characters. Yeah, man, I just been a fan of having hella characters, man. And with Black Shonen, like I said, we got about 15, and I switched through them. And as I write and switch through them, I make sure it's easy and accessible, and everyone knows what's going on. I try to make sure you're not staying too long with a team. You just get to know them, then we switch to another, and that's how I try to do it. And it's amazing. It's amazing to be black. But yeah, man, inspirations. What else? What else? What else? John Carter of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs. It's a novel series. I really like John Carter of Mars. It's very adventurous. There's always action going on. There's always stuff popping off. John Carter of Mars is about this man. I think he's back in the Civil War or something like that. He get hurt and his soul get abducted to Mars, where there's these red skinned people that look like normal humans, but they have like olive reddish skin. It's these green aliens that got 4 arms, look like walking grasshoppers. It's all type of shit. And it's a good novel series. Edgar Rice Burroughs, John Carter, Robert E. Howard, Conan the Barbarian. Even The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. That's another novel that gave me inspiration for Black Shonen. Just the teamwork and the companionship between the Three Musketeers, which is actually 4 people. Three Musketeers is actually about 3 Musketeers and 1 trainee. It's actually about 4 people, not 3. But beyond that, that's another one. I just like the adventure, the fight scenes, the comradeship between the characters. I like all that type of shit. What else, man? Adventure, Pulp Fiction, the genre, not the movie. Pulp Fiction, it's good. The Shadow, Doc Savage, even Conan I would count as Pulp Fiction. It's cool shit. Isaac Asimov even wrote a little science fiction series. I forgot what it was called, but I read some of the books. It was pretty good. I like those old school stories, just old school novels, simple, direct. The shadow walked across the street, shot the man, and ran. That's all I need to know. It's what I like. It's what it is, and I guess we're gonna close out. It's been the 10 minutes. We're gonna close out with another quote from my novel though, because I'm black. And what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Um, I'll do this. This is a chapter from my book. It's a character named Johnny Senior, who's a mad scientist, gets caught by these weird arcane mages, and they're gonna turn him into a monster, trying to figure out how to escape. This is just a chapter, though. My chapters are nice and quick. I'll read it to you guys. Chapter 9, The Dilemma. Johnny Sr. didn't know how long he traveled. He didn't know exactly where he was, and all he knew was it was some kind of cave. The arcane mages stared at the man, their mouths slowly getting ready to chant, their hands eager to shoot magic at the old man. Johnny Sr. stared at the prehistoric people with his hands in his pocket. His joint had gone out, but the abilities the weed gave him still flowed in his blood. What tribe are you from? Johnny Sr. guessed this man was a leader. He was tall, his hooded robe didn't fully cover the muscles of his body. The mage was fair-skinned, his nose was swollen, and his teeth rotten. Johnny could tell the other mages feared this man as they stood behind him, and the mage didn't stand beside him. I didn't know he was there, said the mage that captured the blow bulb and Johnny Sr. Perhaps we could use him as a Drago soldier. Johnny Sr. made sure to keep the word Drago soldier in his mind. The leader mage nodded. Perhaps we could use him. The large man looked behind Johnny and nodded at the giant bulb. Once we perfect it, the rival mage tribe will bow down to us, and we will be the true mages of Gaia. What's a Drago soldier? Asked Johnny Sr. The large mage stepped forward. You want to know our plan? The old man stepped up to the larger man. Johnny Sr. reached his chest. Hey, nigga, what's a Drago soldier? The mage looked back at his tribe, then at Johnny Sr. If you want to know, face me in combat. And that's just a little quote, a little chapter from my novel. Like I said, it's the mad scientist Johnny Sr. gets trapped by these old prehistoric mages, and he gotta find his way out. And Johnny Sr. is a pretty tough character. If you didn't see, he's pretty cool based off my father, my late father. But yeah, that's just a little quote. That's my inspiration for my novel, Conan, John Carter of Mars, Robert E. Howard, Edgar Rice Burroughs. Three Musketeers, Alexander Dumas. Those three novels really helped me with Black Shonen. And like I said, the countless shonen manga, One Piece, Black Clover, Assassination Classroom, My Hero, stuff like that. So thanks. We went over the 10 minutes, 13 minutes. Times is changing. All right, it's in the stream, people. Cool beans.